The first one, as I mentioned earlier, is the Wayfinder. This is built on how startups have succeeded with this, what exactly is the DNA of an entrepreneur, how your pipeline of unicorns, if you want to have them, what that is required to achieve that. We believe in finding elite selection and finding the best talent. This is not a guess. This is not a gut feeling. In fact, we declare the end of the billion-dollar guess. We need to have a scientific approach. See, most incubators suffer from the fact that they have what we call subjective founder evaluation. 90% failure rates. If you rely only on gut, on network pedigree and bias, you're not going to succeed. In fact, more than $100 billion are misallocated annually due to this flawed selection process. A little bit critical say that traditional method miss the complete picture. They are disconnected from what is required to create this billion-dollar industry. Now, there are different ways to do it. So how is it done today? There's the gut feel traditionalists. They rely on subject pattern matching and network bias. There's the psychometric tools alone that measure potential but lack proven action evidence. There is the behavior analysis that shows past performance but may not predict startup success. There's also the performance simulation. They are very expensive and don't always capture the real world complexity. This all leads to a broken selection anatomy. So I'll show you our solution. Our solution is based on 3 domain predictive engines. The first one is what I call the innate potential. Yes, we will deploy psychometric and cognitive assessment measuring the raw potential. That will be, however, done with demonstrated drives such as digital breadcrumbs, I'll come back to that, and applied capability with virtual simulation, observing the real-time problem-solving capabilities. We have a 4-layer architecture to this. So the psychometric, the behavioral, the simulation, and the AI synthesis. So level 1, psychometric core, measure both cognitive ability, pure intelligence, consciousness, and resilience. The digital breadcrumb analyzes your GitHub, your LinkedIn, and all your presence footprint on the internet to find your proof of your self-starter initiative, what you actually are doing, not what you're saying. In layer 3, we'd go through virtual assessment, observe and apply real problem skills, like how do you solve a crisis situation? How do you work in a team? Last but not least, all this is combined in an AI synthesis engine where you get an overall score that predicts your founder potential. So, combined, this generates revolutionary success metrics. This gets us to 75% survival versus the normal 10 to 15. This yields the 1% founder identification through a scientific approach. This also provides a way to eliminate bias and subjectivity. So what is it we found out through this system? If you look at it, you can see some clear trends coming up. One of them, that a typical co-founder team consists of 2 to 4. Age is 20 to 25. It used to be 30 to 35, but today most of the unicorns are much, much younger. They have bonds with each other. They are friends. They've been to university together. They are also AI native. They have played with AI, are passionate about it. Without AI, I don't think you can do a good company today. But most important is speed. They move fast. In 90 days, they generate product, they generate revenues, and they accelerate. There's a lot of examples. More than $36 billion unicorns have been generated where I live in California recently, especially in Silicon Valley. Now, what is behind those stories? I'll just give you a few. Mercor is a 22 years old Harvard dropout that achieved a $2 billion valuation in recruiting AI, so creating a recruiting system for AI. Liquid AI is a three of MIT graduates that reached more than $300 million valuation for the next generation neural networks. Blacksmith is a Canadian University of Waterloo friends that reached 1 million ARR with the 4 team members very quickly. So the idea is to democratize this opportunity across the world, right? Not just in today as it is in Silicon Valley and maybe 1 or 2 other spots. And we do that with this independent third-party audits. We do it with multimodal pathways, etc. So what's the Wayfinder advantage? You don't have to guess, you get predictability. It is data-driven portfolio, and it creates a strong competitive moat. We tease out the 1% elite, and we are creating a premier brand reputation. We provide these startups with unfair competitive advantage, and we provide systematic de-risking of predictable returns. So in summary, your competitive edge in the agent economy is to have this scientific founder assessment, and you can partner with us and you'll receive a platform. So the Wayfinder is a concrete platform that you can we will teach you how to use and put it in practice.